This is the What the Faulkn Show live stream talking about The Quiet Place, a versus podcast, but a friendly versus, a friendly competition that will not accumulate any points or awards whatsoever, just different points of view on the same movie, The Quiet Place.
It's also a double podcast. We should mention it's on What the Fuck Show and it's on the No Bullshit 2 show.
That's who you are. You're the No Bullshit 2 channel.
I'm No Bullshit.
I'm What the Fuck Show.
You're What the Fuck. You're Miguel.
I don't have a channel, so.
And you're Daryl Strawberry. I don't know how he got in here.
He showed up. We're not even New York baseball
He's just
fans.
observing. Don't speak it to the microphone, sir.
Yeah.
Don't speak it to the microphone.
So we're live streaming right now. When people listen later, it will have been live, but it will be to them listening at the time. It's a science thing.
Recorded live.
Recorded live. That's the word we want to use.
It's like Jimmy Kimmel Live. He
Yes,
says
it
it's live, but it's live recording.
Recording live here at the What the Faulkn Show on YouTube. We're on Twitter at My WTF Show. You know, at No Bullshit. Very popular person in all of social media.
Thanks for having me on my own show.
You're welcome. Thanks for being on my own show and being on your own show at the same time. Connor, thanks myself for being on my own show at the same time.
A lot of pleasantries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And this guy over here, and Daryl, obviously. We're talking about The Quiet Place. And I'm glad we're talking about The Quiet Place because last week kind of had some issues. We already talked. You're not a big John Krasinski fan, which is fine. There's people who just don't like other actors.
Hey, don't put words in my mouth. Okay? Yeah, let the man speak for himself.
They came out of your mouth.
Can I finish?
Though. The words came out of your mouth.
Can I finish?
They did. I just gotta say one point. It was just hilarious. If I want to be the one to say it first, okay? Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was me that said it. Okay. John Krasinski made a living on The Office making gestures with his face, not talking mostly, right?
Yeah.
He made The Quiet Place, which is 2.5 hours of him not talking, making faces. He just added a beard. John Krasinski has a thing, and the thing was The Quiet Place. I like The Quiet Place. I thought it was awesome. I disagree with how you felt about it, but I'm willing to say that will be the best movie that John Krasinski probably ever does.
I wouldn't doubt that. I don't think John Krasinski has much in him.
No, is it because he's foolish?
I think it's because like people keep trying to make him a thing.
Yeah,
you know, it's like they're trying to make him a thing.
He is a thing, though, guys.
He's a person.
Like he was on The Office, and he was on The Office. Like you could give him that.
Yeah.
You're not going to take that away from him.
Well, Rusty Shackelford is asking, are these guys on Coke? God damn. Yes, we just got some Diet Coke from the store. If you use the Vons just for you, we got a good deal to answer your question.
We're sponsored by Coca-Cola. Thank you for watching.
And Prosser,
Rusty.
And Prosser. Thanks, man. Thanks for listening, bro.
Welcome back. 12 people tuning in. We're talking about A Quiet Place. My first thoughts, I didn't think it was as bad as you. I think you think I hated it. I think last week it was more just like I prefer another movie.
Well, can you give me this? Was it better than you thought when we talked about it last week?
I was gonna say that
better than you anticipated.
Yeah, but I didn't expect anything.
I know you didn't.
It was good. I mean, it was good, and I think I told you initially like it's a decent movie. It's not bad.
Yeah.
And for what it is, it's actually a great like horror movie.
Yeah.
In that genre, but overall, it's like I wouldn't watch it again.
Okay.
And it's like it's very long and like you have to be focused on it. It's like boring.
Well, I think it's a theater movie, right? I was thinking about that. That's a theater movie for sure.
Yeah. It's got to be quiet and and also it depends on the theater because I went to like one that was almost empty anyway, and there were still like 2 people that walked up and sat right behind me.
Wow.
As soon as the movie started.
You think they were scared or what?
They're like,
they just like sat behind me. And I was like, what the fuck? And then they were whispering and talking the whole time. And like, if you hear anything, I don't think that's why I didn't like the movie, but I think that movie, it needs a theater like by yourself.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I mean, totally. And for me, it was actually a little too quiet, guys, because I was like eating my popcorn and putting candy in popcorn, and I was like super loud.
Well,
so you can't eat.
I remember trying to get
kind of a play on the movie
too.
title itself. I mean, the whole thing is supposed to be.
It's a little uncomfortable, though, you know.
And I think it was
what he wants. Does he want you to feel uncomfortable?
Yeah,
that's the point of the horror. It's so you feel the tension.
I mean, I think we'd recommend it for anyone to watch once. I think if you can watch it in theaters and if you have Movie Pass, go ahead and check it out. It's a one-off. If there's a sequel, which there might be if it makes enough money, it's not going to be as good.
Well, I was going to tell you about that. There's not a sequel, but Krasinski's got a new project.
He does. He
Jack Ryan.
No. He got another directing role.
Oh, he's going to direct another movie. I don't know if they announced the details.
Well, the Haulers. I just think this will be his calling card. It's always going to be The Office, but I think this movie-wise will be his calling card. But the Haulers movie he directed with Sharlto Copley himself. Mary Elizabeth Winstead was in Fargo. Richard Jenkins. Mary Winningham, really old lady, was in Dexter and different shows. So that was a solid movie. It's about family. You'd watch it. You'd enjoy it. They're like based.
Yeah, I never heard of it before.
It's just a family movie.
It looks like it could be funny. I like the actors.
Exactly. That's it.
And then someone else mentioned this. Thomas says John Krasinski was rating 13 Hours, and I actually like that movie a lot too.
Yeah,
for different reasons, but I think he was just like one part of it.
Because
he's like the lead.
Yeah,
like CIA operative, like right through CIA operative.
He's like the number 2 or 3. Okay. One is going to be James Badge Dale, I believe.
It's about Benghazi, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think there's a good parallel here. I wanted to bring this up.
Let's do it.
Okay, so remember I was saying how they're trying to make John Krasinski a thing?
Yeah.
And like it's like they're forcing it. Hollywood's like, give it. You guys are gonna like him.
Yeah.
Let's make him a thing.
Yeah.
And then the same thing happened. We're talking about Benghazi. Benghazi, of course, a big kerfluffle that was under Secretary of State Hillary Clinton,
among other things.
Yes. Yeah. And everyone tried to make her a thing, and everyone's like, no. It's like Bill Clinton's like, yeah, my wife, let everybody vote for my wife. And they're like, no, Bill, go home.
Yes.
Go home, you're drunk. And it's like the same thing. Like Krasinski is the Hillary Clinton of Hollywood.
Well, see, I don't see him ever being a thing.
That's already a different thing because even people that respected Hillary Clinton just didn't find her likable.
Well, John Krasinski,
likable.
He's not going to be a brand. We're not talking about like a future Tom Cruise or something like that.
He's definitely more likable.
I think the directing is more like his calling.
Well, Thomas Jefferson here. Thanks for listening, man. And Krasinski was good in that movie with Matt Damon in that fracking movie. Now that's the movie by Gus Van Sant that Krasinski actually co-wrote that with Matt Damon. It's called The Promised Land.
Yeah.
Matt Damon is like he's a guy representing a fracking company, and John Krasinski plays a guy, an opposer of it, trying to mess with his situation in a city or a town where he's trying to buy everybody's property, right? Mm-hmm. Good movie.
Yeah.
Solid twist at the end. If you haven't seen that, I would definitely say to check out the A Promised Land along with The Quiet Place.
Hashtag Hillary for president. That's from M. Prosser and Mexico and Joseph and John and Stacy. Wow, there's a lot of people jumping on this. Everyone's jumping in on this.
Thomas Jefferson, like A Promised Land. Thomas Jefferson, I also have another channel happening right now. What the Falk Show live stream is happening as this is happening. Just know on that show, that no bullshit is always on there. This guy over here is always on there. We're always talking about movies. So if you ever have any movie questions or you're wondering about the name of a movie, we can usually provide that. But let's be quiet because it's the quiet place.
It's the quiet place. Podcast
place. I like the monsters though in the quiet place. That was kind of what I thought was kind of cool. I thought they were pretty cool looking monsters.
Well, they did a good job of not giving away what they were for a long time. And he said he wanted to have kind of a Jaws feel where you didn't really see the shark for most of the movie. And then that big,
they were pretty spooky. They had like metal armor plates. Like we're not really giving them much. It's like literally the beginning of the movie. They tell you that. And then when the way that things happen with their heads, I mean, I think there were some interesting things with the back.
I don't know, dude. I think it was a little like CGI over. They showed a lot. Like I know you're saying at the beginning they did pretty good. It looked just like some like weird spider arms, but later on it was like you saw everything, and it was like it was like pretty. It looked like to me like Harry Potter special effects, like back in like old Harry Potter. There's like a lot of graphics, old Avenger stuff too. Like
I thought like Venom almost.
Well, the skin was pretty detailed. Like if you looked closely, it's like you can see the different coloring of the skin from like a certain area. I don't know. It was like I think the 3D was not bad.
I don't think it was bad, like too bad. But
I'll admit it was the greatest movie that's ever been made about not being able to talk when aliens come on a meteor and hit the Earth, and then they hear really well and they kill.
I'm glad that Krasinski's doing good, and then next movie he's gonna, add dialogue.
Well, yeah,
he's gonna make a full movie.
He's adapting a book called Life on Mars, so that's his next project.
Well, that's cool. Life on Mars, the next one. I'll pass. I'm gonna pass.
Well, it's gonna be good.
Jack Ryan though on Amazon.
Do you think that's gonna be good?
I mean,
I don't know, man.
It looks bad, but
I like Abby Cornish.
Dude, they put a lot of money into that show too. Amazon canceled a lot of their shows they have on right now. They're getting ready for a new wave of a bunch of new shows.
How many? See, for me, it's like how many actually good Amazon shows that we have that were like legitimately good.
The Tick. I don't know if you watched that show. It's legit.
I've heard that's underrated.
But
I still think The Tick is kind of an acquired taste. I think they might do the same. That's some good analysis.
The one I watched was.
I think Jack Ryan might be kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything really good on Amazon. Like I know they got a lot of hype for doing that Manchester movie.
Oh yeah,
that's like a movie
which John Krasinski executive produced.
Yep,
of course.
So Amazon is John Krasinski. You can't escape him.
But what do you think produced means? Like,
do you have Amazon?
What do you think he did? Do you think he was there talking to the Affleck?
He probably gave some money.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
No. Actually, I had it a couple years ago, but
so you were supporting John Krasinski. Like some of your money is making the John Krasinski movies.
Oh no, God no! I did not see that movie.
You didn't click on the box. Would you like to donate to the future of John Krasinski?
It's a pretty powerful movie, man. Yeah, it's pretty some sad.
What about his wife?
Yeah,
I heard about that.
What about his wife, Emily Blunt? She's getting older, but she's doing good.
I think Emily Blunt.
I mean, exactly her age. Yeah, she's doing Mary Poppins. That's huge.
That's
gonna be cool.
That's gonna be a pass for me.
You like the first Mary Poppins?
She's not as good a singer as Julie Andrews. Like it's not
even
gonna.
Yeah, that's
It's like Beauty and the Beast. It's not going to be a musical anymore. So I like, okay, let's do non-musical music. Can we just call it the slightly less musically talented version of Mary Poppins, starring Emily Blunt and whatever other British person?
Well, have you ever heard her sing?
I've
never heard her sing.
I'm willing to bet money.
Well, I know she's not gonna be as good as Julie Andrews.
Okay,
cool.
Say
that right now.
Good thing you didn't bet me because I have bitcoins.
All
over the world.
True. You do.
What do you think about the
big Julie Andrews fan over here?
She can sing. Let me ask you something. No bullshit. You're a very cool guy. You're an American, but you still like some musicals in your life. Let's admit. Let's be honest here. What would you say are some of your kind of favorite musicals? Like the ones that literally have way too much singing than is necessary.
Because Mary Poppins is a musical.
Yeah,
it is. I don't know. I haven't watched.
What about when you were a little?
So you're talking about Disney movies or musicals?
Like,
yeah. And I watched Disney movies, Lion King, Aladdin, and stuff.
What about when you were a little kid and growing up in Little Italy or Little Israel in Missouri, or wherever you were from?
I don't think they're allowed to show musicals in Southern Illinois.
Okay.
I wasn't able to see one until I moved to gay Florida.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I had to get closer to Miami.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will say about to try to bring it back to Quiet Place, Emily Blunt, she was the best part of that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because she's hot. That's all.
Oh, okay.
End of story.
What about the deaf daughter? She was a looker.
She did the
what?
I thought it was cool actually. He said that they wanted someone hard of hearing in the movie to actually be a little more realistic.
That was a John Krasinski call. He wanted a deaf actress.
Good idea.
It makes sense because she's actually the part I hated the most in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hated the daughter.
That was the most important decision.
Yeah.
Well, she did make some pretty bonehead moves, but that's what every horror movie has.
I heard about this movie being smart too. Like the characters are very smart and they hide very well. But there's like a point where the kids start being really dumb, and that's like that irritating horror movie trope.
Kids are dumb.
Let me just defend that moment. So you're 12.
Kids are dumb.
8 to 12 years old. You're in a very intense and scary situation. You really gonna stick to the plan?
See, that's
nobody
hard
ever sticks to the plan.
When I would listen to my dad. I would have understood that there were
you're shitting your pants because you never dealt with one of these creatures before, so you're immediately gonna follow exactly what he's
I'm still not my first thought is not
I
going to
know
be.
What you're saying. I actually agree. There's a.
I'm not giving the batteries back to the kid.
Well, yeah, that was dumb.
There's no way.
That's what I'm saying. That's the stuff I'm saying. Everything that Deaf Girl does fucks up that movie.
Yeah,
and she ruins the whole thing where they're all smart. And I do understand their kids. And I was gonna say it does make sense because kids do fuck shit up
and they're dumb. Rebel against their parents.
Dude, that little boy. I just saw him. He was in that. He was in Suburbicon. I just watched Wonder, which is really awesome, very sad movie. So be prepared to tear up a little bit.
I can't watch that crap. That movie looks terrible.
Too happy for
you. You have a heart, bro.
Too much
Wonder.
Too much
do you have
love.
Something inside your chest?
No, dude. I think that's like it's trying to pull at your heartstrings too much.
Sometimes it's okay to have your heartstrings pulled a little bit. Like M. Prosser right here talking about Brooks, buy a Das Boot director's cut. Best money I spent on Amazon. He doesn't support Amazon because Amazon supports John Krasinski, but maybe he could find it at a local Video City or Blockbuster.
I could download for free. Rocky Horror Picture Show and Jesus Christ Superstar. There was actually just a Jesus Christ Superstar on like TV.
Yeah, it did really well actually.
It's got to be the original.
Well, I mean, it's
original's legit.
Andrew Lloyd Webber, he's like the best, Broadway writer.
I would ask Thomas Jefferson, are we going to count Heavy Metal? Let's see if you've seen these movies. Maybe you know Heavy Metal, great movie with music and a lot of animated.
Heavy Metal's
got
music
kind of musical.
Well, they don't sing. Like musicals when someone
people are singing.
What's the another singing?
There's a lot of singing in Heavy Metal.
There's music by bands
that are singing.
Yeah, but it's not the characters singing.
I'm just saying semantics at this point.
Like West Side Story.
I guess it's a different kind of musical.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a music video. That's what you could call it. Not a musical.
It reminds me of the one I really like. Actually, you were asking about when I was a little tiny bullshit
little guy.
You're just a little shit.
We used to watch Pink Floyd The Wall.
Oh, see, that's
ultimate.
Yeah, that's
like where I started.
When you were a kid, you watched Pink Floyd The Wall?
Yeah, dude. Like I had some cool friends. Like we watched all these old school movies back then too. Like I mean, we didn't get it. Don't get me wrong. Like I wasn't an expert.
Like what are they grinding those kids
watched
into?
it. Yeah, we watched it like a bunch, and like we knew Pink Floyd. Like Pink Floyd's still one of the my favorite bands. Like that's one of the most legendary bands. Like besides the Beatles and
it's awesome because I always thought heavy metal, and I knew like it was probably kind of inappropriate for my dad to be showing me as a kid because of all the boobs and the killing.
Yeah,
and
I was not allowed to watch those movies,
but still a great movie, right? The Wall, I'd say, is even harder for a kid because that's so political,
scary,
and out there. Like that'd be pretty.
It's like they were doing acid when they wrote that movie.
But it's better than I was gonna say another one like the Yellow Submarine, and I know that one seems like it's for kids and it's like the Beatles and they're happier and stuff, but it's actually just like you're saying, like it's weird, trippy.
I feel like they were
drugged out.
Yeah, they were drugged out when they made that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Thomas Jefferson back in Heavy Metal was a great soundtrack. See, my man, we have some similar interests.
It is.
What the Faulkn Show, check it out. Best musical is The Last Waltz. Never seen it, but I've seen the poster a lot. Isn't that the one with John Turturro? The Last Waltz?
I'm not sure that one.
Or is that the one with Gregory Hines? Maybe I'm thinking. I'm not. Musicals aren't exactly my strong suit. But.
Yeah, we found one.
You brought him up. You went done the musical, but like I don't know much about musicals.
Heavy metal though is the kind of musical I know about.
Yeah, because
that's awesome.
Musical.
I know.
No, I know what you're saying. I would consider in a way like
Phantom of the Opera is a musical.
Never seen it.
What?
There's like a traditional musical. The ones I actually watched, not little, but like in college, there was like a lot of musicals. It like came back in the 05s and 06.
High School Musical. You probably watched that.
Well, it was like the producers.
No. Don't guess. I'll tell you. There was one that was the Rent.
Yeah,
Rent. Everyone has A's.
Team America can technically be considered a musical.
I love Team America. Actually, that brings me back. This isn't the same thing, but original musical is a South Park movie.
Yeah,
I watched that when I was a kid. Whenever it came out, I remember seeing it at the drive-in, and it was like insane. Again, another movie where I didn't really understand it all the way as a kid, but we loved that stuff.
Man,
well, it's better when you understand it because you're thinking, oh. My parents understand it. If I act like I'm understanding it too, they're gonna think I'm like them. We could talk about it.
Canada, man.
I'll be looked at as an equal.
That's an ultimate musical. They're like Oscar nominated too.
They got Oscar.
Speaking of tripping, they like actually the creators of South Park went to the Oscars and were tripping for that nomination, and they wore dresses. They cross-dressed. It was that's when
they wore the J-Lo dress.
Jennifer Lopez dress.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Dress, and they're like high on acid.
That was a huge deal at that point. That's when Jennifer Lopez was like the most famous woman on earth in those few weeks.
She still is.
Yeah, I guess she's
staying relevant by marrying A-Rod. So.
I Ain't Your Mama is what her last song I heard, so she's trying to let us know that she's not a mother right now. Quiet Place, solid. What about the movie we're about to go watch? Rampage. I talked to the gas station guy. He's cool. We always talk about movies and stuff. No, honestly.
I know what This is a great setup. It's like, I know this guy at the gas station. Not related to the movie industry at all, but he has a great.
He's awesome though. I asked him if he ever played Rampage. He's like, "Yeah, man, I spent so many hours playing that arcade." He was like starting to do the buttons, and I was like, "Dude, you should check it out." So there's a lot of people might be a little old, in the older age group that's going to see this. I actually never played the game. It was more like Metal Gear Solid or NBA
I played
Jam.
it a lot.
Well, they had it. See, they had an arcade version, which I played a lot, and then they also had they transported it to like the 64. They also had
that's the one I played the most.
I played a lot.
I played I think a couple of them, but the main one was when it came out in 64, and you played at home at your friends and this and that.
Yeah,
and that game was legendary.
Original Nintendo, I think too as well.
I never played them.
It's multiplayer too. I think you play with your friends.
Yeah, that's what was really big deal.
I think you're like each character.
Yeah, it's okay. So basically, there's a gorilla, a wolf, and a lizard. And Lizzie, I remember Lizzie the lizard. I remember that name. And you basically just go through the United States and destroy a bunch of cities and eat a bunch of people, and that's basically
so none of them.
So there's nothing really to do with.
But in this movie, one of them is going to turn good and going to go versus.
They had to do something really.
I don't think. Yeah, I think there was even a story on the original. Like,
there wasn't.
You just imagine something, but it's like there's
at
these three characters.
Yeah, and at the very end of the game, when you beat it, you basically just turn back into a human. So it's like, all right.
And it's also like in a way too. If we want to get into it a little bit. It wasn't officially, but it was definitely like, okay, this one, the monkey one is King Kong, the gorilla.
True.
And then like the lizard one is a Godzilla kind of thing. And then the wolf one, I don't know, maybe there's something else, just like a werewolf from there. Something like that. Each one, like the point of the game in my head was kind of like, it's like you could play as all these different giant monsters.
Yeah.
Kind of like a monster game.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a typical monster movie.
I initially thought this was Skyscraper, and I was already kind of like,
He was already out.
Too?
He was bowing out of it.
I thought it was Skyscraper. I was like, I don't know, man. And then I was like, oh no, it's the monster one. I was like, okay, I'm down to go watch this.
It's The Rock, guys.
You don't want to see Skyscraper?
I'm looking forward to this more than I am Skyscraper.
Oh, okay. Dude, I thought you were gonna say you thought this movie was Skyscraper.
For a while, I did think it was the same movie.
Remember how I told you that I did that too?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, dude, I swear.
It's the same kind of movie.
He wears the same shirt. They put the dirt and the sweat on the same part of his face. You
And
never know which rock it is.
Dude, I swear, it's not even that bad. I'm not even holding it against him, but literally those two movies, and they're coming out at the same times. I'm seeing the trailers.
I'm pretty sure it's the same director, too, so that's why they also look the
San Andreas, he's just rapping out all his movies right
It's
now.
the same director, too. I knew Rampage is like the San Andreas director. I'm not sure much more about Skyscraper, but yeah, dude, I know what you're saying. Because also the other thing, like you were talking about the game, stuff you imagine coming in from the game is the big buildings.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's like a big character in the game too. Like not like a person, but it's like there are all these buildings and you're trying to break them down and you're climbing them and doing all kinds of stuff like that.
It's like The Rock trying to fight the the man trying to stop him from moving up as a wrestler into acting.
So he did. He punched through that.
Not allowing. Oh, I got a good idea, right? Okay, I was listening to this interview with the guy talking about Baker Mayfield, NFL draft prospect, right?
Yeah.
He said that he's the guy, the talent evaluator, who found The Rock, ex-football player, and convinced him to do acting. And he also found another guy who was a center of a Division III school, his team captain, John Cena.
Huh.
That's also where he found
John Cena's blowing up.
They started finding a lot of football players
awesome.
who they knew weren't going to make it to the NFL to come be wrestlers.
Well, because Rock had family in wrestling too. That's also
did.
What pushed
his
him
uncle or something.
Yeah, it's like he's I can't say the name, I can't remember the name right now, but yeah, he was a pretty famous person in wrestling.
Yeah.
So yeah, because he failed in Canadian Football League, and so he was pretty depressed. And I bet you that dude was like, "Hey, you should come work."
So this is just a preview for our post Rampage watch. When we talk about The Rock and all the Rampage and the Gorillas. This is The Quiet Place. One thing I would say, The Quiet Place. I had high expectations. It met my expectations.
What's your flames, Brooks? On The Quiet Place.
I would still I had those complaints but I still would give it 3 out of 5 stars. It's not a bad movie.
Stars, not flames.
Which show are we on?
We're on
on my other show.
We're on both shows.
I have another podcast after this. They all bleed together.
Your rating, whatever your rating system is.
No, it's flames. It's flames. I'm just kidding.
Flames.
Yeah, I just said the wrong thing.
3 out of 5 flames. 6
3 out of 5 flames. It's still good. And especially for what it is. I think my main thing was it wasn't I'm big on horror movies anymore.
Yeah.
Especially lately. I mean, this is a better one. But it's also just not a super fun movie or anything. It's interesting.
It's pretty horror.
It's just kind of you sit there for an hour and a half and there's no sound.
Okay. We got how many flame stars, whatever way you want to quantify.
I'll do that out of 10. And I'll give it an 8. Solid 8.
8 what?
Just 8 out of 10.
8 what? Just that we have to know what
rule.
the things
8
are.
out of 10.
8 seashells.
Reels.
He doesn't know how to use the seashells.
8 seashells.
8 coins.
You don't know how to use seashells?
8 Bitcoins.
Where's that from? What's the seashell reference from? Do you know?
Demolition Man.
Did you know?
Die Hard. Did you? No, I knew it was that one with
Demolition Man.
Every restaurant's a Taco Bell.
Yes. I'm gonna give it
fancy restaurants are Taco Bell.
I'm gonna give it 4.4 Infinity Stones out of 10 Infinity Stones.
There isn't 10 Infinity Stones.
No, wait, 4.4 Infinity Stones out of 5 Infinity
There you go.
Stones, which would there be a 8.8 out of 10.
Nice.
I thought it was a solid movie.
That's pretty
That's
solid.
really high.
Yeah, man, it's pretty solid.
Well, the first watch.
It's your highest ratings of the whole year.
In a while, yes.
Well, other than Game Night, yeah, it's probably my
I'd
highest
say it was
rated
just as.
movie.
I say that
Because I like Black Panther way more than this. I even like Blockers better.
You do
last
like
Yeah, I
one.
like Black Panther better than Quiet Place.
This is so different.
I'm not trying to take your rating.
No.
I'm just saying.
I was saying, but
I
I did give Black Panther a high rating over 8.5.
Yeah, I would give that a high.
I guess Quiet Place and Ready Player One are kind of on the same. They're probably the best movies so far of this summer, pre-summer,
Ready Player One's
spring thing.
March.
Right now.
How about March? Because February was
March.
Black Panther, and then this was.
Yeah, but then Logan was March last year, and that was kind of considered the start of the summer. So
4.4 is that what you said?
4.4
Yes.
Infinity Stones out of 5 Infinity Stones.
All right, this has been the What the Fuck Show. I'm your host.
This has been the What the Fuck Show. This has been the No Bullshit Show. Which one is it? It's mine now.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back after the movie about
Thanks,
2
guys.
hours talking about Rampage. It's gonna be fun.
We appreciate you. Thanks,
awesome.
guys.
Thank you. Movie Pass. Please don't mess up this time. That's 2 in a row. You've done good.